We're about to begin the 4th season of the Rockies franchise in MLB The Show 21. Before we get to opening day, here is the spring training episode going through the streams I did over the weekend and a little bit of gameplay I captured on my own, setting the 26-man opening day roster for the 4th year of this franchise, and thank you all for being a part of the journey thus far. This season, the big move going into the year was the signing of Rafael, a move I still can't believe we made, but teams just were not interested. We now have a player with serious home run upside. He's coming off a 40 home run campaign with the Red Sox, and I think he's going to be the best individual home run hitter we've had in this entire series. That's the only major move we made during the offseason. There were a couple others that are notable, but overall, I've been aggressive in these 3 off seasons to try and make this team better. We've overhauled the entire pitching staff of the team, starters and relievers. Andrew Heaney was our big signing back after the first season of the series, and he's been great in the 2 years. Very consistent, and we signed him to a new contract this offseason. And here's Rafael, and let me correct myself, it was 41 homers a year ago. How many could he hit in Coors Field? A full season in Denver. Could we be talking about the greatest home run hitting season of this series? It'd be a disappointment if we weren't. We obviously dealt Trevor Story, so we lost that premier power hitter early on in the franchise. Javi Baez was a good signing, but certainly not an upper tier one. Devers gives this offense a player we've been missing this entire time. We also wanted to figure out who the 5th starter would be, and we had a competition here to see between Dallas Keuchel, John Gray, Touki Toussaint, and Austin Gomber who could impress. Now, Dallas Keuchel was a player I accidentally signed, just double tapping X led me to sign him when I didn't really want to, and after checking out free agency, I would have rather have signed Michael Pineda. But the first impression of Dallas Keuchel was overall pretty solid, and of course, you go back to my Twins franchise, and he was the ace. I had so much success with him in that franchise. Everything was going pretty well for him up until this drive by Austin Allen that just gets over the fence in right center field. Lefty. Don't typically see Dallas Keuchel give up too many home runs like that. Here is Austin Gomber. Now, he was acquired as part of the Nolan Arenado deal before this franchise got started, and we had him at the major league level at the very start of the franchise, but quickly we just kind of realized he wasn't ready, especially to be a regular starter. Well, how about now? He had a great year in relief a year ago, and we'll talk about him a lot today. As well as Rafael Devers, now showing the opposite field power, and yes, that leaves as well. I must have homered in like 4 of the first 10 at-bats I had with him. Maybe 3 of the first 10. Literally, that first home run I showed beginning of the episode was me just trying to get a thumbnail with him. I had just a couple at-bats and he went yard. Let's go back to Austin Gomber, getting some strikeouts looking, and this pop-up. Gomber is mostly a solid ground ball pitcher who is supposed to limit home runs. He did a good job here in this matchup against Oakland. Jose Alvarado was maybe our 2nd biggest signing of the offseason. We lost Robert Stevenson, and we still had enough budget to go after a really good reliever. I compared the available relievers, and Alvarado was simply the most consistent year over year, and he was pretty enjoyable to pitch with here in the spring. This game ends up going to extra innings. Runner on third, Trey Turner at the plate with 1 down, and he will push this one to the right side, a slow roller, and that does win the game. Trey Turner hopefully ready for a much better 2nd season with the Colorado Rockies. We'll go into another game now against the Mariners. This is Brian Reynolds, a mid-season acquisition a year ago, and a big-time home run hitter in his time with the Rockies a year ago. There's his first home run here of the spring. We, of course, got him re-signed. Him and Brandon Nimmo have helped change this offense. Here's Colton Welker, by the way. He's been developing down at AAA for most of the series, but this is the year I felt like he could actually make a major league impact. Where is Touki Toussaint in his development? When we traded Trevor Story to acquire him, it was clear right away he wasn't ready. But I put together basically a 2-year plan to get him ready for the major leagues once again. He was a late season call-up a year ago, and he's done a great job down at AA and AAA, trying to rebuild his game a little bit, get the control better while maintaining that strikeout upside and limiting home runs. And he was on a great trajectory in the minor leagues. But at the major league level, we still haven't really seen it. First couple of innings here go pretty well. Let's go back to the offense with the Rookie of the Year, David Geronimo, out to right center. Goodbye. Geronimo made the team last year, and eventually he became one of our best power hitters. And this year he is going to bat cleanup. J.P. Crawford draws a walk against Touki Toussaint. Tom Murphy up next, and this ball is annihilated. When Toussaint misses, this happens far too often. Right over the plate and drilled 440 feet. That's what we're trying to avoid, especially if he's to become the 5th starter. For Toussaint, the issue with him has really been longevity in games. Even when he's pitched well at the minor league level, he doesn't have the most stamina, and he will pitch well for a few innings, and things suddenly fall apart. And from what I've played with him, which actually is a lot of games now in the show at all levels, he's not a pitcher that usually comes back from a bad inning or two. Once it falls apart, it's over. So Austin Gomber comes in and immediately starts to slow down this offense. He picks up a couple strikeouts. Let's go to the 8th inning. J.P. Crawford pops it up over at third base. A nice one-pitch weekly hit out there for Gomber. And then Tom Murphy, who homered earlier, bouncer over to third base. No problem. 9th inning for the offense. Zach Veen, former first-round pick of the Rockies. He sends this one to deep left field. It's out of reach. Veen gets a double, but we aren't able to follow it up with anything. Veen probably not quite ready yet for the major leagues. He hasn't dominated down at AAA, and we just have other outfielders now who are doing a really good job, like David Geronimo with a base hit into center field. He's had quite the quick rise to stardom in this series. And he's going to be batting right behind Rafael Devers. This is down the line, and yes, it's gone once again. We didn't really hit a lot of singles or doubles with Devers here in the spring. This guy just wants to go yard. Devers facing Alex Wood. There's a perfect swing, drilled to right field for a base hit, which is like his 10th most impressive hit of the spring. Sir Anthony Dominguez. Last season had a bit of a control issue, but overall had a good year. And this is his 3rd year now with the Rockies. He gives up that deep double to Justin Turner and then misses over the plate, and Danny Mendick launches one way out to left center. Danny Mendick might hit 4 home runs this year. But we had the most random players hitting deep home runs. No doubters. Don't even turn around. They're so gone. I don't know what it was, but everybody was giving up home runs to random bench players or bottom of the order hitters. Roel Ramirez was acquired in a trade last year, and I was hoping to see him make the team this year, but he had a rough time here in the spring. Gave up the home run to Zach Collins and just really couldn't settle into a groove at all. Here's David Geronimo in the 9th inning with a 2-0 count. You can't leave the slider up there. Geronimo homers to right center once again. but we go on to lose to the White Sox. I've had a lot of feedback now about Johnny Schaefer in this series. Are we going to see him get called up? Are we going to see him at spring training? I felt like we had to at least take a look. I feel like he still has a lot of work to do as a hitter, especially against righties with his contact at 46, power at 53. He wasn't quite a dominant hitter in the spring last year, but he's a good hitter. And I think he's got a chance to be one of the best catchers in our league, and I've constantly been comparing him to Salvador Perez, and the ratings are so similar. Welcome to the Cactus League, Johnny Schaefer with this drive to left center field. A nice double to kick his time off. And the throw home is going to take away a potential RBI. Big deal, it's the spring. Schaefer later in the 6th inning. There's a hit down the line. He does get the RBI this time, and a base hit. Last year, we acquired Luis Severino, who had a great season as the Rockies ace. Getting in a start with him here in the spring, it's not off to a start you expect. Bases are loaded, he can't find the strike zone, and he walked in a run. So he's in some trouble here. Anthony Rizzo at the plate, 3-2, and struggling to put him away with some tough 2-strike pitches. Eventually a fly to left center field, deep enough to tag up, especially against the arms in our outfield. Cubs go up 2-0, and this first inning took almost 40 pitches. In the second inning, it wasn't getting a whole lot better, so his day ended pretty quickly. It was another chance to see Austin Gomber and Touki Toussaint in this head-to-head. Here's a familiar face. Raimel Tapia base hit center field. He's playing for the Cubs now and drives in a run here on this RBI single. Chris Bryant later, a 2-2 count. Bouncer over to short, not hit all that sharply, so he can't turn 2. Another run does score. Gomber here facing David Bodie. Good pitch on the inside corner. And then he misses with the curveball. Gomber had a bit of a control issue as well. There were a lot of walks overall for the pitchers here in spring. But he did pick up some impressive strikeouts that I don't normally think of him as a strikeout pitcher, but he looked pretty good here. And this inning is over. Cubs go up 4-0. Gomber continues on here in the 4th. There's a tapper right back to him. Nice job. There's a 0 on the board. We'll go bottom 4. Rockies not on the scoreboard until Rafael Devers launches yet another home run. This time over the right center fence. His swing is so good. He's an easy guy to hit with, especially with that 99 power versus righties. David Geronimo to right center. He sure likes hitting there today. He ends up with the double. Having those two as the main power hitters, I think, is going to have a lot of upside for us. You got Ty France hitting behind them. Hopefully he can produce a pretty good season. And here is Johnny Schaefer now with the bases loaded. And that is not well hit, but it will fall in right. Rockies add their 4th run of the inning. And then it's Rule 5 pickup. Dom Thompson Williams with his spring training moment. A grand slam to right field. I wanted to upgrade our bench this year, and we got a chance in the Rule 5 draft to pick him up. Great first impression for a player who brings power, good defense, and speed. Touki Toussaint's turn here in the 5th. There's a good curveball. When his curveball is working, it's a completely different day. Picks up the strikeout here, and here's Maybreeze Valoria. I remember him taking us yard last season, and he'll do it again. Toussaint overall has not had an issue giving up home runs the last couple years, but that is in the minor leagues. It appears this issue has not been fixed at the major league level, and he's simply missing over the plate far too often. Cubs chipping away at this lead. Chris Bryant up at the plate, and I don't know what happened here. One of the weirdest throws. Like Schaefer had it come out of his hand weird, didn't have a good grip on it. Tapia steals. Second base hit left field, and Tapia comes around. Cubs add their 6th run. Bottom 6. Following his grand slam, facing Jose Suarez. Here's Thompson Williams dropping one in center field. A nice base hit. We don't do anything with it. But in the 7th, Dallas Keuchel gets his turn. Now he's going to walk a hitter. 2 on, nobody down. Veloria once again. Lefty, lefty. And the Cubs retake the lead. Dallas Keuchel regressed last year. I don't want to overreact here, but if he's given up multiple lefty-lefty homers in the spring, might not be a good sign. Here's Peter Lambert, one of the better pitchers down at AAA the last couple years, getting a chance with Chris Bryant at the plate, and he'll strike him out on the big breaking ball. Not bad at all, but the next batter has an extra base hit into left center field. That one is drilled all the way to the wall. Stand-up double? No. Ruiz wants third. He won't have it. Not even close. But it is the time to get aggressive on the base paths. 2 down. Patrick Wisdom. 3-2. He's chasing the filthy slider. Good strikeout again for Peter Lambert. Colorado down 1. Here's Johnny Schaefer at the plate. He drills one deep down the line in left field. This one's deep and it's down over the fence for a ground rule double. And that'll bring up Dom Thompson Williams. 0-2 count. A little chopper in front of the catcher. And hustling down the line. He's going to get the infield single. And Schaefer moves up to third base. Actually, no, he pinch ran for him here. He's out of the game. But that's a drive to center. Brian Reynolds not able to come through, unfortunately. One more chance in the 9th. Trey Turner facing Rowan Wick. In the air, out to right. A sliding grab to put this game away. Rockies choke the lead after an 8-run inning. With Austin Gomber, the most impressive pitcher, vying for that 5th spot. He gets a start here against Cleveland, and Johnny Schaefer's going to help him out. He has a very good arm behind the plate. Jose Ramirez, 2-0, gets a pitch to hit. Easy single for him. And then the powerful Franmil Reyes, deep down the line, twisting, foul. Full count, Gomber versus Reyes. Strike 3 with the fastball. Gomber did a really good job painting the corners with multiple pitches. Here he does it with the changeup to get a strikeout looking. Now he's got to face the lefty masher Jordan Luplow, and that's drilled down the line, but like the one Reyes hit earlier, it's foul. 2-2. Back to the slider now for a strike 3 swinging. Getting strikeouts with every pitch in his arsenal. Here's Ahmed Rosario striking out, looking at a fastball. I'm guessing he got so many strikeouts looking just because he was so good at hitting the corners. Gomber was very impressive. I still wanted to see if Touki Toussaint could put out some good outings and show he can be relied upon in a long relief role. Gets the pop-up, then Austin Hedges will look at strike 3. I don't know, maybe these Cleveland hitters just don't want to hit that bad. Here is Toussaint facing Jose Ramirez. And these 2 strike pitches are just not going to be competitive with a top-tier hitter like Ramirez. Here's Reyes, he's gotten ahead in the count, trying to get him with 2 strikes again, but doesn't work until he finds too much of the plate and Reyes gets a base hit. That'll bring up Josh Naylor after back-to-back walks. Missing low, missing high. 3-2 now. And that's in the dirt. 3 straight walks for Toussaint. Jordan Luplow's up next. Toussaint does get the strikeout this time. Trying to turn this inning around, and he has the stuff to do it. He can get a strikeout and then a ground ball double play. Tyler Freeman, though, 3-1 is going to send one to the moon. A grand slam. And another bad inning for Touki Toussaint. I wasn't expecting anything like this after all the innings I've pitched with him. Be it at AA or AAA, I mean, his control had gotten better. But now facing big league competition again, he just kind of regressed to the same player he was when we acquired him a couple years ago. Here's Dom Thompson-Williams getting a base hit, setting up Devers, who does not hit a home run this time. I can hardly believe it. Sinker up, good swing, just didn't get all of it. 4-0 Cleveland. Nothing going our way until Austin Martin drills one to left field. He will put the Rockies on the board. We have some exciting players that might not be at the big league level quite yet, but are very close. I think our AAA team is going to be really good this year. Here's a base hit to center. That's from Johnny Schaefer. Getting aggressive here with the center fielder fumbling the ball. But that is not the right call. Good throw to recover and end the inning. It is the time to be aggressive, and I do want to be much more aggressive trying to run the bases in this game. But in the 8th inning, we have another scoring threat. Dom Thompson-Williams draws the walk, and then the double steal. Because I asked the chat during the stream if it was a good idea, and they said yes. They were right. And then Jacob Pearson, base hit right field. We're going to wave home Dom Thompson-Williams, and he scores. The aggressiveness pays off, as the Vikings are also learning right now. Rafi Devers down the line. This one not out. Unfortunately, not out of play either. David Geronimo, base hit right field. Doesn't have to just pull the ball. He can spray the ball into right as well. Colton Welker in left field. It won't fall in. But we've made this a one-run game. Roel Ramirez enters in the 9th, and that's lined over third base. Cleveland kicks this off with a double. Darren Ruff. It's a shallow fly down and right. That's big trouble, and a run is going to score. Cleveland back up by 2, and now a runner at third with nobody down. Later, it's Tyler Freeman. Runners at the corners. It's a base hit into right. Another run scores. Still nobody out. Ramirez at 21 pitches, and this is ripped into deep left field all the way to the wall. 2 more come home. It was a nice one-run game. We made it closer, and then Cleveland basically puts it away. We go to the 9th, though. Ryan Valade, the other way? That is gone! Slider left up. He shows the opposite field power. Big hit from Valade. Dom Thompson-Williams with a runner aboard. Base hit left field. Interesting. Jacob Pearson drove in too earlier. And now with a drive to right, this one's back. He'll drive in 3 more. The Rockies are back to within a run. Despite allowing 4 in the top of the 9th, we're still in this. Devers trying to tie the game. A bit behind that one. 0-2 curveball gets him strike 3. It comes down to David Geronimo. 3-1, a chopper to the right side. Cleveland does not blow this game. We sure made it interesting, though. And the pitching is really making our offense put in a lot of work. And even when they have a good day, it's not enough. I want to take you to one more game here. This is the spring training finale. Aaron Judge is a Royal, by the way. Signed a massive extension with them after Season 2. And that is an opposite field blast. Herman Marquez has been very good in this series. We got him under contract this offseason. Was a very high priority move for us. He gave up the home run to Judge, but it wasn't even a bad pitch. And overall, he's been doing great. Dom Thompson-Williams, another swinging bunt with the speed to reach. I really like Dom Thompson-Williams and the spring he's put together. Marquez versus Judge, part 2. Nice play at third. Good stop. Want to say that's Colton Welker playing at third, and he records the out. Ryan O'Hearn gets a hold of one, and Marquez gives up his second home run. That is all he would allow, though, in this outing. Here's a ground ball behind third base, and Welker showing off great defense once again. Touki Toussaint follows Marquez into this game, and there just wasn't a good start or a good outing I had with him. The issues really carried from game to game here. A bunch of walks, load the bases. He does have the strikeout stuff, like I said, to get some big outs. But so much of his spring was either strikeouts, walks, or home runs. 3-0 Kansas City. We go bottom 6. Johnny Schaefer gets to face a lefty. Hammered to left. It's gone. Schaefer's second homer of the spring, facing Shane McClanahan. Against lefties, he can do some damage. Toussaint stays in the game. That's more like it. Weak chopper to third base. That's how you know he's starting to feel it. 0-2 chasing the breaking ball. That was a much better inning for Touki Toussaint. Rockies still trail 3-2. Errol Vera at the plate. Turning on one. It's sent to deep right. This is back, and it is gone. Vera was acquired in the Javi Baez deal. He's an infielder, and I'm excited to see him down at AAA this season. Bottom 8. Zach Feed this time gets a hold of one. Deep right, and the Rockies take the lead. 3 home runs get us back in this game and give us the lead. It was a lot of fun to see some of these young hitters have big hits like that. 4-3 lead in the 9th. We turn it over to Jose Alvarado. Pop up in foul territory. There's one. Salvador Perez. Weak ground ball. Easy play at third. That's 2. Jalen Davis. 1-2 count. Popped him up. Got him jammed. And that is the spring. Alvarado with a great 9th inning, and the Rockies finally get a W in one of these games that we got the full game played. And that is going to bring us to the end of the spring as we set the roster and get set for year 4 of the series. Hope you enjoyed the highlights, and if you want to see more from the spring, I of course have those streams on the channel. But opening day is coming. Here are the spring training stats, and no surprise, Rafael Devers, most hits, most homers, most RBIs. He was incredible. Dom Thompson-Williams also had a very productive spring, along with David Geronimo. Brandon Nimmo and Brendan Rodgers were the 2 starters that struggled the most. I thought we hit a lot of home runs. Devers had 9. That's an incredible spring. Dom Thompson-Williams checks in with 4, and I'm really excited to see what he can do this year as maybe our best bench player. I can see him getting a lot of playing time, especially if he can build upon this spring. Garrett Hampson struggled. Dom Nunez struggled. Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of positive surprises here in the spring. As far as the pitching goes, I feel good about the starting 5, and Austin Gomber is going to be that 5th starter now, and we'll see if he can keep that spot. But his spring went really well, and he was good as a reliever a year ago, even won 10 games. So that means we're going to have Touki Toussaint in the bullpen. He wasn't very good in the spring. Sir Anthony Dominguez was maybe the worst pitcher of the spring. John Gray wasn't all that good. Roel Ramirez wasn't. Jose Alvarado, I really enjoyed pitching with him. I'm not sure if our bullpen is in bad shape or I just happen to be pitching with all the pitchers that didn't have a very good spring. But Touki Toussaint gave up 6 home runs. German Marquez gave up 5, and so did Sir Anthony Dominguez. I don't know what to expect from some of these pitchers this year. We have some high variance players. Dominguez, very high variance. Toussaint as well. So I had to make a few tough decisions as far as setting the opening day roster. Here is the starting lineup going into opening day. Brandon Nimmo, Brian Reynolds, Rafael Devers. We have changed the top of the order dramatically from last season, and Johnny Schaefer does make the opening day roster. Here's the bench with Connor Joe, Garrett Hampson, Dom Nunez, Dom Thompson-Williams, and Colton Welker makes the roster. I thought he had a decent spring, and on top of that, he's out of options. So if I waive him, someone's going to claim him. So he's going to make the team, can play first and third. For the pitching staff, you know the starting five. Austin Gomber, the newest member. And then for the bullpen, in long relief, Dallas Keuchel and Touki Toussaint. We have Michael Givens, Alex Colome, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Scott Oberg, Jose Alvarado, and Taylor Rogers. I had to send down John Gray and Ryan Castellani and Roel Ramirez. I do believe Sir Anthony Dominguez has options available, so I can send him down if I need to. Touki Toussaint is out of options. Here's a quick look at the schedule. We open first 6 on the road. We take on the Astros on opening day. And we only play a handful of division games early in the season. They're mostly against the Padres and the Diamondbacks. We don't play the Dodgers until late in May. We play them twice in the first 2 months. So we're going to see a lot more of LA in the second half of the season. Here is the AAA roster with the players that did not quite make the opening day roster, and then some of our best prospects who might get called up at some point this season. And we'll be going through their year as well. I think it's very important to pay attention to AAA this season. But I like what I've done with the roster overall. I think that spring training feels a little bad for the team because I focus so much on players who struggled, but there's so much we have going right for this team. And now I'm ready to see opening day arrive and for us to hopefully take it a step forward. We want to be a playoff team in year 4. Have we done enough? Is Rocktober going to happen? That is it for the spring, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your feedback down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel. Year 4 will get underway later this week as the Rockies take on the Houston Astros. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.